another video. Like I said, I react to random stuff. Today we were watching to The Horn-Headed Man by Llama Arts. I gotta say they do an amazing job at this. They do. They really do. They really do. They give me chills. I give you that much. But cause yo, my imagine when I read stuff, my imagination does go wild, but not to the point where it creeps me out compared to the visuals. So once again, this is by Llama Arts. We might be doing like 2, maybe 3 videos of scary stories. Cause why not? Why not? You know what I mean? Just why not? Anyway, let's enjoy this video. Let's sit. Hold up. Alright, let's sit back. Relax. I should turn off the light, right? Right. And we're back. Just like that. Let's get ready to creep us out. Let's go.
Moonlight peered through my window as I jolted awake. My clamorous breaths disturbed the silence of my dark room. I had just come out of a frightful dream that had me thinking it was all too real. With sweat on my brow, I sat up and grabbed my water from the nightstand and took a sip from the now warmed glass.
I would have done
my
water
hands
bottles.
shook as I recounted my nightmare of the horn-headed man. In my dream, I was walking through my neighborhood, the street lights flickering as I made my way down the uninhabited sidewalk. Nothing threatening, just a walk through the midnight hours.
What time is this?
A block down,
Can't be
I
just
could see
midnight.
a figure in the distance, walking slowly towards me. His steps seemed mismatched and labored. He passed a few houses looking straight ahead, neither looking left nor right. His head was fixed on the sidewalk in front of him. As I was getting closer to my home, I could see him slowly starting to embark on my territory. I quickly rushed to my front door and hurried inside. Through my window, I could see him walk past my property. I was thinking to myself, oh God, please have him keep going, please.
Bro,
He was just about to walk all the way past my front yard when he stopped.
Yeah, dude.
His body almost shifted abnormally as he turned to face my home. He just stood there, looking, not moving, just standing there.
Get the
The
strap.
man bore the horned head of a skeletal goat. His body was pale and looked fragile.
Get the
and
strap.
his fingers were thin and bony. I thought to myself, what does he want?
Or grab the shotty.
Slowly, he started lifting a quivering arm and pointed right at me. I started to backpedal into the darkness of my house, when all of a sudden he let out an inhuman screech. That's when I woke up. Too frightened to go back to bed, I turned on the television and saw that the local news for early risers was on. My stomach dropped and my body suddenly turned cold as I listened to the current news report.
It was
The news
the whole
anchor
time
on the
it was
television
true.
said, "Breaking news. A woman who lived on Columbia Avenue has been murdered. Local officials say that they received an anonymous phone call from the victim's home. We arrived at the house at around 12:20. We saw the victim inside and a card which rested next to her." The sheriff held up the card. On the back of it, I could see the image of the horn-headed man. The officer started to read. "One down. Slowly I go." He then lifted his head back up. His blood started trickling from his eyes and mouth. I sat there shaking, and I couldn't breathe. Columbia's just 3 blocks away from me. I jumped out of my bed and ran to my window. Something within me made me want to look outside. That's when I saw him. He just stood there, looking, not moving, just looking. The horn-headed man, his body pale and fragile, and his fingers thin and bony.
Nope. Alright, now this is the second story. Abduction horror story. Like once again, it's about Llama Arts. We're doing this. But like I said, we were doing like 2 to 3 stories. This is the second one for now. If you guys have any, actually, yeah. Let's go.
My name is Josh Roberts, and it's been a year since I was abducted. I remember it like it was yesterday.
What?
I was walking home from school. It was about 6 p.m. and there was a full moon and a chill in the air. I stepped off the bus, and for the first time, someone else got off with me. I'd never seen this new kid at school before. I could hear footsteps behind me. I took a quick glance and saw the kid walking at a brisk pace. I thought he was following me, so I took a left, which wasn't my usual route.
Okay.
I looked around again and saw him take the same left. My heart started pumping,
Bro,
and my
that's when
legs
you
started
run.
shaking at the sound of the footsteps as they got louder and faster.
That's when you run.
I then panicked
Yeah,
and started
okay.
running. I remembered a shortcut in the nearby forest to my neighborhood, so I ran to take the same left. My heart started pumping and my legs started shaking at the sound of the footsteps as they got louder and faster. I then panicked and started running. I remembered a shortcut in the nearby forest to my neighborhood, so I ran as fast as my legs could carry me. "Hey kid, wait up!" said a heavy voice from behind me.
Bro, if you
I tried my hardest not to stumble on the logs and boulders in my path. I could hear the sound of sticks and leaves being broken by some fast, heavy footsteps.
Bro, imagine he said, yo, you left your wallet. That'll be funny.
My legs started throbbing as the adrenaline wore off, so I took a detour towards a playground. I stopped to catch my breath, looking around for somewhere to hide, then went silent. I was doubtful that I lost him. I took my phone out to call the police when I spotted a local news article. "Caution, there is a suspicious man on the loose. He escaped the local prison and assaulted an officer. Beware, he may look like a teen, but he is in his 20s. If you see him, call 911 immediately and lock your door." My mind started rushing with thoughts, and I started to panic.
Bro,
All of
call
a sudden,
911.
someone started choking me with their arm. I tried to fight back, but they were so strong, I didn't stand a chance.
Bro, that's when you
Feelings
elbow.
of hope
You
began to
gotta
diminish as I
elbow.
slowly blacked out. I awoke to find myself in a dark, damp room that looked like a basement. The floor was hard and cold. There were no windows, but there was a staircase and a bathroom. I tried to move, but I was tied up with a thick rope.
Yeah, I got him. How much was the deal? 200?
Listen, you gotta do a little better than that. Okay, fine. You'd better bring the right amount.
Or you'll be tied up like that kid.
What? Are they selling me? The guy sounded mad and anxious with whomever he was talking to. Right after he hung up, he opened the door and walked down the stairs with an evil smile. "Let go of me!" I exclaimed as he taunted me. My arms started to fall asleep due to the tightness of the rope. He came closer to me and I spat in his face. He looked at me in sheer rage. Then the doorbell rang, followed by pounding on the door. The guy grabbed some tape and shut me up before I could scream for help. He slowly backed off,
See, what
signaling
kind of
me
tape?
to
If
keep
it's
quiet,
duct tape,
and ran towards the front door.
and
Looked
if it's a
around,
render tape,
trying to see what I could use to untie these
alright, so whenever you're taped, just lick it. It's gross, I know, but lick it. You'll get free.
ropes. I spotted a rusty, sharp edge sticking out of the wall. This was my one hope. I successfully got up and tried with all my might to reach it. As I was trying to cut the rope from my hands, I could hear the commotion upstairs getting heated. I managed to free myself from the ropes when I heard the front door slam. The silence was terrifying.
Bro, run.
I was
Go
frozen
back.
in fear.
Just go back, pretend you're...
Footsteps started coming towards the door. I choked and shuffled back to my original position,
Yeah.
arms behind my back, wrists tightly locked together. "Now where were we?" said the man. He walked towards me, grabbed my ankles, and started dragging me when the phone rang. He dropped me instantly and charged upstairs. I wasn't going to lose this opportunity. I untied my feet, grabbed the closest thing to me, and hid behind some boxes. "Now where did you go?" he said as he stampeded down the stairs. I heard him getting closer to where I was hiding. I bolted up from behind the boxes and saw him checking the bathroom. As he walked out, I struck him over the head with a pole.
Yep.
He stumbled and
Yep.
fell to the floor. Crimson
Yep.
red pooled around his head. I ran upstairs
Good
and
job.
out the front door. I stumbled my way to the closest house, screaming. A woman thankfully opened the door. She was shocked and fearful when she saw me. The police were called and I was rushed into the hospital. They're still looking for that man, even to this day.
Oh. Oh, damn. I feel bad. Damn. Alright, so this is the third story, Creepy Night Shift Story 2. We already did the first one. Was it called? Yeah, it was. What was it called? Creepy though. I don't think so. It was called The Night Shift. I know that. Let's get right to it. Go.
It was around 3 years ago.
By
I
the
was
way, first
17
mistake,
years old
Night Shift.
and I worked at the local library in my city.
Is it
The
haunted?
library
Let's
was
find out.
located
That
in
is
the middle
not.
of the city, but was
A
totally
mistake.
abandoned in the evenings. I only worked in the evenings, when all the older staff had already gone home. My colleague and I were the only one left there that night. As it was the day before Christmas and a blizzard was going on outside, not one single customer inhabited the building. My colleague Thomas was down at ground level, while I was sitting at my desk on the top
That
level.
looks like a long
Normally,
library.
I would take the time to
It's a
study,
lobby. I'm stupid.
but it was the holidays and I was completely bored to death. The library was recently renovated,
Oh, I was right.
so I could look outside through the big windows that they had put up. I mostly looked at the blizzard going on, thinking about my bike ride home. It was a dark December evening and the snow was piling up.
Oh damn.
I just really wanted to go home. It's really snowy out there, Tom. What do you say we close up early? No one's gonna show up anyway. Over. Your jokes are funny. Over. Just 10 minutes before we closed, I heard some people coming up the stairwells. It was some kind of family. One man and a woman with 2 girls. When they came through the door, I immediately saw that they weren't ordinary.
Yeah.
The man had a pale, almost white face and wore red lipstick. The woman was also completely pale. They all wore clothing like they used to be in the 17 or 1800s. I just had my
Bro, you're looking
history
at
exam,
ghosts.
so I recognized it immediately. While I walked towards them, I saw that they were looking around as if they were lost. "Can I help you folks?" I asked them. They looked at me with big eyes, if I was talking Chinese. I almost thought about bailing, but as we just had a meeting about customer satisfaction, I asked again, a bit louder. "Can I help you folks?" They now all looked at me, with a big smile and large eyes. I was totally creeped out, and I didn't really know what to do anymore. "If I can help you, I'll be at my desk," I said, and I quickly walked away. When I was at my desk, I could still see the family just standing there, doing absolutely nothing.
They're not.
Tom? Have you seen this family that just came in? Over. No one's come through the entrance. You good? Over. Now I was even more creeped out. When I looked up, I saw the man walking towards me.
Oh, he
From
looked
the inside, I
mad.
could almost cry, but I did my best not to show it. The man stood in front of me with his pale face and called out something in a language I couldn't understand. It sounded like English, but it sort of wasn't. I couldn't make out anything. I looked down at my computer to make it look like I was searching, hoping he would just take off. When I finally looked up, nobody was there. The whole floor was abandoned again. I did a quick sweep of the floor, but I found nobody. as if they just vanished. Just then, my colleague came up the stairs, and I told him what happened. He didn't believe me, and I thought I was trying to scare him. Luckily, there were security cameras in the library, so we could just watch what happened, right? After we closed the library, we went to the security office in the building and looked at the footage from earlier that evening. What I saw then was the creepiest thing ever. I was talking to nobody. The whole family wasn't on the screen.
I knew it.
It was just me, talking to myself.
So it's a haunted library. You're working at night. Who knows what time? Bro, that scared the crap out of me. I'm ending the video. Nope, I'm ending the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash the hell out of the like button, share with your friends and family, and then just let me know down in the comments what else you want me to do. Because that like scared the crap out of me. Woo!